Hey besties, we are coming to you with a rapid fire episode talking all things discipline for the girlies needing a little bit of a pep talk and some great advice to basically get shit done, feel really good and become more resilient. So I'm going to start off by saying that when I think of discipline, sometimes people have the wrong idea and they think it's like military style, commando style, you have to do this, you have to do that. I love to look at discipline as self-devotion. It is honoring the goals that you have to yourself, holding yourself to a higher standard because you're capable of more. That's how I like to view discipline, because the overarching goal is that you keep showing up for yourself despite not always feeling like it, because it's inherently really rewarding doing so. So maybe if you have been resisting the idea or concept of being more disciplined, it just comes down to initially shifting your mindset about what that actually means.
I agree. I love it. When I look at discipline, to be honest, discipline is one of the things that both of us this year we decided to heavily focus on. You guys know at the start of this year we did our deficit. And we decided, I think your word of the year was self-discipline, right?
Yeah.
And when I look at like what we have achieved in only 6 months of this year, with all of the things that we have had going on, it's been huge. And the reason that we have been able to do this, not completely lose our minds, not completely lose our shit and continue moving forward, is because we have focused so heavily on actually building more self-discipline into our lives. And the way that I look at discipline, I've said it on the podcast before, it is just self-respect. It's not about never straying from the plan. If you decide to go off plan, you're weak and you're unmotivated and you're this and you're that. It's not about that. It's simply about deciding on something and then following through on your word, which builds more confidence on the other side and also gets you to your goal quicker on the other side. So when we think about discipline, the main thing for me is if I decide to set a goal, can I respect myself enough to show up when I don't want to show up when life feels like it's chaotic, to show up when I'm tired, to show up when I'm busy, to show up when I've had an argument with my partner, to show up when someone's left a hate comment on my Instagram, like whatever the thing is, can I, at the crux of it, still show up for myself, for nobody else in the moments when I desperately don't want to? And when I know that I've ticked that goal, and I can say confidently over the last 6 months, like I've done that. Every single time I've been faced with the challenge, I've been able to show up, and that's from discipline to following through on my word and no longer making excuses as to why I cannot do the things that I set out to do for myself.
Yep. And when I think of why I'm so passionate about this topic, it's because every single time I have exercised the discipline muscle, it has made me feel better about myself, because I feel like I am someone who follows through with what they say they're going to do. I back myself. I know that I will do anything that I set my mind to, because I've proven to myself time and time again that I can. And in a week by week kind of play by play of the ways that I kind of use discipline, like I signed up to a 6 a.m. boxing class for the last 11 classes that I've gone to, or 12 classes that I've gone to, because it is in the middle of winter in Melbourne. I have to get up at 5 a.m. It's forcing me out of bed really early, when prior to it being miserable outside, I was walking at that time, but I'm not really going to walk because it's basically pissing down. So it's like, I don't feel like getting up to do this class every single day. I didn't feel like it on Tuesday. I rolled over to my partner and I said, I'm struggling to get up today. And then again, I think it's important to choose a life partner who backs you and knows what your overarching goal is. Because he said, like, you're not a quitter. And I was like,
damn right, Thomas.
Yes, sir. And then I rolled out and I had the best time. And every single time I have felt this like resistance of something being like hard. And this is just a small example, but there's so many other examples I can use. And then I do the thing afterwards. I'm like, fuck yeah, I could do anything. Like there's no challenge that I can't overcome, even something trivial like a 6 a.m. boxing class. But I think that it's just the best possible thing for building self-confidence. Yeah. So I think that rather than avoiding those things that feel a little bit uncomfortable, whether it be training early at the morning at gym because that's the only time realistically you can train because you've told yourself that that's a too hard basket, I would challenge you to be like, cool, it's hard, but I can still do it. Because I feel like sometimes we use this as an excuse. People will say, oh, well, I've got more on my plate than the other person and that's why you know, whatever it is. Like we tell ourselves these things and then it's just like, at what point does it come to you just needing to call yourself out on your shit because you're using this as an excuse as to why you can't do it because it's hard. You can do hard things. I can give you examples of 10 people in my immediate circle that have challenges, adversity and so on, and they are doing amazing things, right? It's like, it wasn't like it was less hard for them. They just decided that it's hard, but they're going to overcome it.
Yeah. I also want you guys to think is like every time you have done something for the first time, it has been hard. Whether it's going for the first day at your new job, it's hard. Whether it's applying for that job, that's also hard. Whether it's going for the interview, that's also hard. Whether it's getting into your uni degree, that's hard. Whether it's going for your first day at uni, it's all hard. You've done hard shit over and over and over again. And the only reason that you might feel right now, just say you have a really big goal that you can't seem to achieve, the only reason that you can't achieve it is not because it's too hard and you can't do it and you don't have the tools. It's just because every time you decide, okay, cool, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. to go to my boxing class, or I'm going to start posting content on social media. Oh no, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm too tired. I'm going to snooze my alarm. Or what about if this person thinks that of me? Excuse, excuse, excuse. And when we think about confidence as a whole, right, one of the main ways that you're going to build confidence is by actually following through on your word and proving to yourself that, yeah, I actually can do this. Like every time you go against your word, so just say you promise to get up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym and you don't, you just reinforce to yourself that you cannot get up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym, making that goal move further and further and further away from you. So discipline for me, I wouldn't say that it has completely changed my life, but I would definitely say that it has made me a more confident and competent person. It has also shown me that your words fucking matter, not only to people around you, but ultimately to yourself, because that is going to impact the way that you view yourself, the way that you show up, how competent and confident you are in insert whatever thing that you're trying to do. And when you can learn to respect yourself, when you can learn to show up for yourself, when no one else is cheering, when things feel shit, when life is crazy, you are going to be able to get through anything, and it comes from discipline. Absolutely. And like I said, at the start of this year, we proved to ourselves 6 months, and we're still going, by the way. We're not just giving up, but we're still going. But like 6 months, we have achieved so much shit this year. So proud of us both. Purely because we decided to stop making excuses, stop putting in the too hard basket, and actually just go, fuck it. Let's go for it. Why not? So if you're listening right now, let's give you a little bit of something tangible to take away. If you're listening right now and you have this big goal that you want to achieve and it's really hard for you, I want you to actually sit down and go, what am I doing currently in my life that is stopping me from achieving that goal? Is it mindlessly scrolling on my phone? Is it comparing myself and going, it's so easy for her, I don't know how she does it? Are you actually sitting on social media watching everybody else achieve the goals and the life that you want while you're sitting there rotting and wasting your life away? Ask yourself, what excuses do I keep coming up with that are stopping me from getting where I want to be? And then actively stop doing those things. A big thing for me, and I think we've spoken about this on the podcast, is actually instead of adding all these things onto your plate that you're wanting to do, start by looking at what are the behaviors I'm no longer going to do anymore. For me, it was using social media so much. I'm chronically online because my job is online. I had to put things in place to stop being online all of the time. It looked like, okay, cool, I'm going into a deficit. I hate doing the Stairmaster. I hate cardio. Instead of me going, I hate cardio, I'm not good at it, I'm going to do it anyways. So what are you actually no longer going to do? And creating a list of that is going to help you be disciplined, because once you know better, you're now forced to do better. And this is a rule or a quote that I live by, is once you know that you're full of excuses, for number one, once you know that you're wasting 8 hours scrolling on your phone when you could be out going for a walk, once you know that you're letting Sarah from high school dictate the way that you show up on social media, it is now in your conscious awareness. It is your responsibility to actively do better and challenge that.
Yep. And I would ponder this question. When was the last time you were uncomfortable? Because sometimes we get really cozy and comfortable with everything that we're doing to the detriment of us growing when we actually deep down really want to. Maybe you have this career that you've always wanted, or you've got, you know, the people that you follow on social media, but you're just being comfortable because that feels safe, but that safety is at the detriment of you achieving anything. So I would proactively be looking in your life for ways to get uncomfortable, to build your discipline, to build your resistance, and to also show yourself what you're capable of. Because if you just stay in this whole like, it's too hard, or, you know, any of that resistance that you feel, like the only way out is through. Nothing that's worth having comes easy. So if you want something, you need to be bold enough to go after it. And you need to also understand that anything is going to have a resistance around it, but it doesn't mean you stop. It means that you just keep pushing through. So I think that's really important. And the last point that I want to make is don't rely on motivation. No one is motivated all the time. The fitness girlies, the athletes, the business people are not waking up every day thinking, fuck yes, I can't wait to do this. But what they do have is they have their mindset dialed in. They have systems and accountability in place. They have people keeping them accountable. They have apps, whatever it is, their journal keeping them accountable. There's things that you can put into your day and your week that are going to help keep you on track. And that has nothing to do with motivation. So if you're someone who's like, oh, I'll start when I'm motivated, just reassess whether or not that's actually serving you, because I can guarantee you that I have probably felt motivated less times this year than I've felt unmotivated, but I've remained consistent.
Yes. You know what's so funny? It's like, I don't think I felt motivated one time this year. Like, hand on my heart, I don't think I've woken up being like, I'm so motivated to grow my business or go spend 30 minutes on the Stairmaster at level 10. No way. If every day I'm like, oh my God, we're doing this again. But it doesn't matter because I do it anyways, focused on my end goal. The last point that I want to quickly make is about stop worrying about, start on that again. The last point I want to make is stop worrying about being seen as a try-hard. I feel like so many people live in this like warped reality of like, I just don't want to try too hard. Like, why should I bother being disciplined? Like, you know, I just want to relax on the weekends. It's like, you have one life on this earth without getting too deep. You have one shot at living the best life that you ultimately can. Why the fuck would you not want to try hard? I'm sorry, but if there's people out there saying, oh my God, she's such a tryhard, she started a podcast, she's on her Instagram, she's yapping, good. I want you to think that I'm a tryhard because I am trying hard in my life. Absolutely. The standard for me is to try harder than the average person because I don't want to live an average life. I'm sorry, but that's just not the blueprint that was laid out for me when I was created, okay? It's just not the way I want to live. So don't fall into this trap of, oh, but what if I post on socials or I decide to, you know, go to the gym and lose the weight or gain the body or gain the business or whatever the thing is and people look at me like I'm a tryhard. It's like, good, be a fucking tryhard. Try actually harder, to be honest.
Yeah, I think about this often because for some reason there's certain people that will judge people for what they post on the internet. And like Kate has said, when has it ever been a bad thing to back yourself? When has it ever been a bad thing to be ambitious? Oh no, she's trying really hard to succeed.
What a loser for trying hard to have a good life.
Like, it's actually ridiculous. But my theory is anyone who says that is projecting because they have a fear of being seen and they can't imagine somebody actually being ballsy enough to put themselves out there. That's the crux of it, in my opinion. So if
I don't even think it's like your theory. I think it's just facts.
Okay, it's
at
facts.
This point. Like, that's actually facts because the reality is anybody doing better than you or doesn't see you as quote unquote competition is never going to drag you. They're never going to be the person that turns around and says, you're such a tryhard. They're going to be the people that are like, keep going, show up, keep working harder. It's always the people that could either never do what it is that you want to do that will talk shit about you over and over and over again. And they'll claim, I don't ever want to post on social media. Lies.
Yeah.
Lies.
I have a lot of opinions on this, but I'm just going to end on the fact that you just can't give other people this much power. Kate has said, we only have one life. You have goals. They are important to you. You can do amazing things. Are you really not going to do them because someone who isn't where you want to be has an opinion on what you do? Like, it's actually, we're not giving those people power. We're just staying true to our vision, our mission, what we want, tunnel vision to that, block, mute, whatever you need to do to get rid of those other noises. And just, I promise you, the same people will be the ones that are asking you, oh, how'd you do it? How did this happen? So just don't even worry about it.
Yeah. And I think main thing that we would want to wrap this episode up with is discipline is purely a form of self-respect, self-devotion. You can achieve absolutely anything you want to do in this lifetime. Absolutely. Even if you don't believe it right now, you absolutely can. As long as you're willing to show up through the seasons where it doesn't feel sexy, it doesn't feel fun, it doesn't feel easy, you don't feel motivated, but you rely on flexing that discipline muscle to get you through those seasons. And trust me, so much can happen in your life if you decide to devote it to yourself. And that wraps up today's episode.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, like, share it to your story, comment below, and we will see you next week.
And one more thing, if you're liking these little bonus episodes that we keep kind of throwing in here, let us know in the comments if we should continue doing them or not.
Yes.
Bye.